all-time high.
This is my intro. Rocco, roll the intro. Let's go.
That's your intro.
Roll the intro, baby. It's my intro. We're rolling the damn intro. Let's go. Nothing more to say. 111K. Let's go. Let's go. Rocco, roll the intro.
Hola!
Now it's your intro, Robin. There you go.
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob. Back in the house. Welcome to SINCITY Crypto, home of the entertainment-focused cryptocurrency content where we take old, boring, and stale information, repackage it all up in a fun, sexy way. And here we are in all-time highs, 112,000 briefly, currently at 111,000. It's been a while since I put the bullhorns on.
Yeah.
So you know what that means. Bull market is back, baby. Woo!
Bull market never left, but yes, we are back to blue sky breakout territory. We're excited. What a day. You know, told you I had a short position on Bitcoin in. It was in the green a little bit. I got this feeling in my stomach, you know? And that one time you ate a roast beef sandwich? I had a feeling in my stomach. And I said...
That was a low blow.
My bad, that was a low
That was kind of mean.
Sorry. Robin, I apologize. Public. I had a pit in my stomach. I said, this doesn't feel right, man. This thing is teetering. I got stopped out. And next thing you know, $111.87035 thousand for one single Bitcoin. Those of you that held through all the BS, through all the supposed experts telling you that, the bull market's over. We're going to 20K. Give yourselves a round of applause, a pat on the back, because... we got diamond hands, baby. And diamond hands are about to pay off. Now, the question a lot of you might be asking is, well, David, the problem is a lot of my portfolio is in altcoins, not Bitcoin. Well, we got good news for you as well. We're going to talk a little bit about SWE, what happened there. Pretty big, I don't know if we'll call it a mishap, but something big happened with our number one LP, Cetus. And so we're going to have that broken down. We also have a special guest joining us today. Chief Growth Officer of Morph. And so he'll be joining us to break down what they do and how maybe we can make some money with that as well. But obviously, to start there, Rob, $111,000 Bitcoin. What are your thoughts? What do you see the next 30 to 60 days? Sell in May and go away no longer applies. Robin.
Oh, what a glorious day. You know, these moments are short-lived. You get into these brand new price discovery, and then from there, you're like, hey, you know what? This is great. And then you usually pull back. And then you're back under all-time highs. And so for the moment, for this brief time, pop open some champagne. Tell your friends and family that thought you were crazy at the Thanksgiving Day dinner table saying, hey, you should buy some Bitcoin. When it was 8,000, 12,000, 20,000, 30,000. Now you can be like, ha, look at me now. Joke's on you. You took all the dark meat. You know I love dark meat and ignored me at the dinner table.
You definitely know you don't like dark meat.
I love the dark meat, man.
Fair enough.
The white meat on the turkey breast is just way too...
Not if you use the injector and inject the breast. The turkey breast. And one time I tried to cook a turkey. It was an absolute disaster. I can't cook. Anyways, I was getting text messages, phone calls from the people that I tried to tell back in November of 2022. Hey, Bitcoin's at $18,000, $19,000, $20,000. And, they're back around. And that's just going to keep happening as the prices go up, especially when the altcoins start to surge. There's a lot. And this is, I think, a key part in why Rob and I were so... kind of set on, hey, there's no way the bull market can be over because it's just literally common sense. And so we're excited. My question, Rob, is end of May, Bitcoin conference is coming next week, which, by the way, if you don't have your tickets, tomorrow the prices go up. Buy it. Buy a ticket. Come hang out with us here in Vegas. And so Bitcoin conference leading into the end of May. Where is Bitcoin on May 31st at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time? That is when the daily candle closes.
119,000. I think prior to that, we go above. I think that within the next week, essentially because the end of the month is about 10 days away, right? No, 9 days away. And so 9 days away, I think that within this next week, we go up above 120K, and then we come back down, and 120 ends up being resistance. And so I think we're at 118, 119, end of the month. That's where I'm at.
I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I was in like the 116 to 120 range. And I think what this cycle has shown us, guys, is, we always joke around, well, this time is different, but look no further than how price action has played out when Bitcoin hit an all-time high. First time ever it hit an all-time high before the halving. And so the cycle there's been a wrench thrown in it. And I honestly don't think, and I could be wrong, I hope I'm wrong, I don't think you see days of Bitcoin goes up by 60 grand, well, relative. Let's just go percentage-wise, 20, 25, 30%. I think this is what you should be getting used to, which is a good thing. Because if you look at Bitcoin as a store of value, you'd rather have it move like it's been moving. And we can just go to the, I believe it's the monthly for BTC. This is the monthly chart of Bitcoin. You had this is a 185% rally in 6 months. Then we had a little bit of a cool off period. Okay. We have another 94% rally in 4 months, and then a cool off period. And it looks like this is the third leg of, hey, is it going to be another 80% rally? Is it going to be another 150% rally? If we measure that move and we just take the median of the two, it was 180 and 80. Let's just call it 120. You're looking at a Bitcoin price, my friends, of $172,706. I'm not saying that's for sure that's what's going to happen, but again, you look at the last kind of two fractals of what price action has done on a higher time frame. That is what we're looking at, and that looks like towards the end of the year into Q4 of this year. Maybe October, November, which really is on par with what you've been saying and kind of what I've been saying on the show as well.
We'll say that the Bitcoin chart is not the only one with 3 legs.
What? You're so, thank you, Rocco. You're such an idiot. Hi, Ashley.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, good. How are
enjoying
you?
the commentary from our friend Robin here?
I kind of ignore him,
You do?
honestly.
How?
All I
'Cause
hear
I would
is
like to learn.
wah, 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 every time he talks. It's
Yeah.
kind of nice.
Also, we have Ashley's segment today, Crypto Confessions.
We heard the inbox ran dry.
I need y'all to send things in. I know you guys are interesting. Like, there has to be something good.
Have we received a confession from Jimmy yet?
We have, and it's a book long.
Is it really?
It is,
Supposed to
and
be
I can't
anonymous.
read it all.
I love you, Jimmy.
Maybe we break it down into chapters like Star Wars.
Chapter 1.
Join us next week for chapter 2.
We might have to, because I can't read this whole thing.
Yeah.
Previously in Crypto Confession.
Yeah. Rocco, why don't we all send a confession?
Send one in right now,
Me,
all
Robin,
of y'all.
Rocco,
Yeah.
we all send a confession. And then
I'll keep it anonymous.
I was gonna say the only deal is you got to keep it anonymous. And
Send
the
them in
viewers
right
can
now.
Guess we can't. We got to do a show. The viewers can guess who the confession came from.
the confession will read, former homecoming king.
And 7 rollers 77 times turned
Guess who is that?
overcooking steak guy. I don't know what I'm saying here. I do want to give a big thank you. Today's show is brought to you by Doppler Finance, the leading XRP FI. You can earn yield with your XRP on Doppler Finance. Just visit Doppler.finance. You can earn yields between 3.5% to 4%. They got the first mover advantage, and they're on a network that is growing, expanding, and garnering a lot of attention. Don't sleep on Doppler, because we're not sleeping on Doppler. And thank you to them for sponsoring today's show. Now, Rob, I do have another Q&A here for the community. As we mentioned, we want to be more in tap with the community. Bark and Matt said, when will alt season start? Is there any hope?
Altcoin season?
Yeah.
Once Bitcoin consolidates. That's just from a historical perspective. And so if you're new to crypto, as far as, this is your first bull market cycle, generally everything kind of just sits on the sideline. Altcoins generally. Now, there are exceptions. We can look at the top, the top gainers today. There are a lot of altcoins that are up significantly more than Bitcoin, but essentially what you're going to see is Bitcoin, all-time high, price discovery. Once it settles in on its zone, consolidates, that is when altcoins run. If you are a day trader, if you like to leverage trade, whatever it is, that is the prime spot if you're planning on longing to make some life-changing money, which we do have our trading show that David runs after an hour after we end this one. So, money-making opportunity. This is what you're here for. If you've been watching YouTube about cryptocurrency all year long and you're like trying to figure, there are small windows of opportunity to hit it big, to become rich, to make retirement style money. And these windows of opportunity for these massive gains are very acute and short. And I'll just say that they have historically come from the altcoin sector after Bitcoin price breakout, price discovery, and then followed by consolidation. But it takes time. We saw last bull market or the last all-time high when we were back in January. It was about a month and a half, almost 2 months of altcoins taking off. 1 week was XRP, the next week was Stellar, next week was Hedera. So really just be in the trenches ready to go. If you're planning on making swing trades, leverage positions, or just say, hey, I'm about to shift some money over to another altcoin that I think is about to pop off, there's a lot of money about to be made. And so pay attention. Don't miss out. Do not miss out. Please do not hold Dash or Litecoin and sit through this damn altcoin pump
Litecoin
and just miss out.
Litecoin's
Please don't do that.
Litecoin's not bad. I'd say if you have Litecoin, it's okay. I don't mind Litecoin. Okay. Let's talk about, speaking of altcoins, let's talk about an altcoin that just shit the bed. Well, they didn't shit the bed, but the LP shit the bed. Look at this. Cetus or Cetus or however you pronounce this thing, which is the main liquidity provider DEX on SWI, was hacked. 11 million in SWI was drained from the SWI USDC pool, and that thing depegged to zero. The USDC on SWI depegged to zero. SWI meme coins, they all nuked to zero after the LP got hacked. As you can see, Robin, 92%, 88%, 80%. I mean, across the board, just blood. And their SWI CPO, Aman Abio, says 160 of the $220 million stolen has been frozen and will be restored to Cetus pools soon. I wanted to have this pulled up. We'll go ahead and pull it up now. SWI's price didn't really take a big hit or a tank. I was hoping it would, so I can pick some up. Typically, when you have things like this happen, the markets overreact. And usually it's a good buying opportunity, especially if it's not the L1 itself. Is a liquidity provider.
I would not touch this at this
really?
point.
Sweet. Well, not now because it didn't go down.
I never really believed in it too much. Oh, I don't want to say believe in it. I never was sold. I was never sold on SWI anyways. And for me, like, why take on risk? If this happened to fall outside of the top 50, I mean, you're talking about top 11 project just outside the top 10. If you remove stable coins, you're talking about a top 10 project here. How high will this market cap move? I just don't think it's that dramatic. I think the upside for SWI is not that lucrative. It's hard to pick Cardano over SWI. It's hard to pick XRP over SWI. It's hard to pick. So for me, the upside is just not quite there for the market cap size it is. And if it has downside sell pressures behind it, like a hack from this largest exchange, altcoins going to zero in its ecosystem, it's quite unsettling. There's, like I said, there's so much money to be made. Why even take a chance on SWI? Like I said, if it would have fallen outside the top 30, okay, cool. Let's talk about it. I think it might bounce back. But it's still in the same damn spot with a big risk bubble there in its narrative. I personally am going to stay away from SWI unless the price tanks and I see a buying opportunity. I think at current prices, I would stay away.
If you don't want to stay away from SWE, come to me because I'm here to tell you that SWE is not going anywhere. I still think this thing has maybe a 4 or 5x to go. Maybe that's not the best returns, but I feel like it's a fairly safe return. Again, I was hoping that this news would have tanked the SWE token, the coin, but it didn't. Because if it did, and we got somewhere around the $3 range, I would have been a buyer there. And so I think SWE's got a long way to go. It's funny, I always say it's a Solana of the cycle and this big hack. Now, to be fair, again, nothing on SWE's L1. This is their LP, but it affected the ecosystem. Nonetheless, take a look at this. This post here from Duo9. SWE froze $160 million from the Cetus hacker on chain out of over 220 million. That 60 million gap was bridged to ETH. While this is good, in this case, this shows the SWE network can freeze your funds on demand. Decentralization is just marketing outside of Bitcoin and ETH. Rob, what do you say to this? We all say, yeah, this is great. They were able to freeze the funds, get some of the money back. But then the flip side of it is, well, can you really call yourself decentralized?
I think they're pretty spot on.
Doesn't this remind you of Solana though? Like when Solana network outage went down and the devs came in and they shut it down and everyone's like, oh, this is not decentralized. And well, a year and a half later, and look where Solana is. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, are you surprised?
I'm not surprised. I'm saying, like, what are your thoughts on the people that say, hey, sure, this is cool, but this thing is not decentralized? Are you in the camp of Forrest where he doesn't really care? Or does this mean something to you? And if you're a SWE holder and you're big on decentralization, is this worth getting rid of your bag? Is this
if you're big on decentralization, then why are you at SWE?
Any altcoins?
Yeah, I wouldn't say any altcoins.
You can
make an argument. Well, I would say there's a sliding scale on decentralization for altcoins. I think the benchmark would be Bitcoin as far as the most decentralized. It's hard to argue that anything is more decentralized than Bitcoin.
There's a few that come to mind: Bitcoin, Caspa, BitTensor, Cardano. For the most part.
there are altcoins with decentralized that feature
qualities.
Yeah, but nobody. They all pale in comparison to Bitcoin.
There's nothing 100% decentralized.
But what I'm saying is that the gold standard is Bitcoin. I do not believe there's a single altcoin out there that is more decentralized than Bitcoin, and I think that's because of the distribution of the hash rate, the amount of nodes that are operating the Bitcoin network, and that's the cream of the crop. I mean, it's just a ton of money and compute power securing the network. There are bit proposals, but anyways, altcoins, it's a sliding scale. That's really it's no okay. If you're not familiar with the trilemma, what is it? The crypto trilemma. What's the trilemma called?
The blockchain trilemma.
Blockchain trilemma.
Scalability, decentralization, and
security.
Security.
Yeah. So you're going to give up one of the three, essentially. And maybe the trilemma gets fixed later on, but it's pretty much you're either going to be slow.
Robin, I would argue Caspa kind of solved it, my friend. Scalable, 10 blocks per second. Decentralized, right? No VC, fair mind.
But
right?
there's still not there's not the distribution of the Caspa coin out there to the level of decentralization that is on par with like Bitcoin or something.
Well, nothing's on par with Bitcoin, right? And and it's not fair to pit the two against each other because Bitcoin's been around for 15 years, Caspa's been around for 2, 3, 4 years. But that's the one that I think is closest to the blockchain trilemma, and I'm sure there's others out there. But the big thing with Bitcoin is great security, great decentralization. It can't scale. Well, Caspa just showed it can. I mean, 10 blocks per second for a proof of work.
It still hasn't been battle tested. Now you can sit here, we can look, and yeah, it's probably we can look at on chain We can see that it is validating. How many blocks per second was it? 10 blocks per second.
10 blocks per second, bro.
Like,
That's
it's operational. That's just, I want to see it battle tested. I want to see DApps. I want to see altcoins like pressure the network. And so until then, it's still, I would say, in theory. Now the blocks are getting validated every 10 seconds. It's tried and true. There's proof there. There's on-chain proof. I'm not saying it's not. But in the same way that we saw Solana, we could say, hey, Solana, as an example, has a massive amount of throughput. It can work fine. And then all of a sudden, you put in a lot of factors, some DDoS attacks, whatever it is, some NFT mints. You throw all this together, you throw the kitchen sink at it, and then all of a sudden, there's some problems pop up. So I agree with what you're saying with Caspa. On paper.
don't sound like it, bro.
On paper, with its blueprint, with its roadmap, what it's currently at on the roadmap, what it's currently doing, where the hard fork successes have come in, it 100% is a game changer. It is eyeballing, or it's advertising that it's essentially a resolution to the blockchain trilemma. However, it needs to be battle tested. We need to have the DApps, the DEXs, the NFTs, the altcoins, the smart contracts. We got to go through it. Until then, I'm not sold on it, because outside of the blockchain trilemma, there's one other factor.
What?
Time. Time is the factor.
Thanks, Rob.
When we talk about space, we talk about
Okay, Michael, say
the
look, calm
fabric
down.
of space.
You
People
understand?
always forget that time is intertwined with space.
Okay,
And so
okay.
I will
Cut
say
his
this:
mic,
the
Rocco.
blockchain trilemma.
Okay, we
the
get it,
blockchain
Michael.
trilemma
Michael, we get
is
it.
that, but you have to go through time. What was the RWA play that just blew up?
Are you gonna be quiet so I can tell you?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Wait, which one?
The RWA
Ondo?
project that just blew up.
In a good way or a bad way?
No, yeah, all the price just blew up.
Skyrocketed?
No,
Honda?
it went down.
Oh, Mantra.
Mantra, yeah, there we go. Mantra did not stand the test of time.
Oh,
It
right.
was a new project. It was not around, and it looked on paper fine, and then lo and behold, we didn't have enough time
Listen,
for it to
dude.
be tested.
Okay, Michael, listen to me here. Okay, let's take a look at this. Take a look at these numbers here, okay? You want to talk about decentralization? This is Bitcoin rich list. Top 10 holders have only 5.4%. Caspa's top 10 holders have 16.5%. Bitcoin's top 100 holders have 14%. Caspa's top 100 holders have 35%. So although, obviously, if you look at these numbers, Bitcoin is more decentralized. Caspa's right there, because you can go down this list, okay? And I'll just throw in, let's search, excuse me, let's search, I don't know, give me an altcoin, Robin. Give me an altcoin that you think is decentralized.
Litecoin.
Litecoin, okay.
We were
Let's
talking
look at
about
Litecoin's
earlier.
rich list.
It is arguably, I would say, pretty damn decentralized.
So Litecoin is right on par with Caspa. Top 10 holders, 14%, 16%. Top 100, 38%, 35%. And a lot of people look at Litecoin, it's got time, right? You talk about time. It's got time in the market. It was a spinoff of Bitcoin. The owner has none, right? A lot of people view it as decentralized, and it's right on par with how Caspa's tokenomics.
But don't you, and this isn't a slight at Caspa, but don't you think that the selling point for Litecoin was that it was a scalable version of Bitcoin, right? It was more transactions. It was a faster Bitcoin, right?
Mm.
What is Caspa exactly?
What do you mean?
The selling point of Caspa. It's a faster
Bitcoin.
proof of work Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's very similar to Litecoin, right?
Lite-
And I'm talking about just from a
Narrative?
broad narrative kind of.
Sure.
So kind of you could put it in the similar kind of camp, right? No, obviously, way different cryptos. But just from a anecdotal perspective, we're gonna just say like, hey, Litecoin is essentially supposed to improve upon Bitcoin's technology, but the one thing Litecoin didn't have was an ecosystem. You had the Mimble Wimble. You have, hey, it's going to do X, Y, and Z. It just never really caught on. That went over to other places. And so for Casper, what I'd like to see is that ecosystem, the DApp ecosystem, flourish and community build on there. Because I will tell you, without it, and I don't care where y'all stand, you can be the biggest Casper fan ever. If it doesn't have dApps and things built on it, if it's just simply a movement of value coin like Bitcoin and Litecoin, it's not going to be successful. It's just not. If you want a movement of value and a store of value, you're going to go to Bitcoin. That's just the reality of it. Now, I'm not saying you're going to go to zero, but at the end of the day, Caspa will need, and they are on track to build an ecosystem. And without the ecosystem, it will not have the success we're hoping it will. And it's in the cards, but I'm just saying, like, that's what we need, man. That's what we need.
For sure. Me and Ashley are just making fun of you.
I know.
It's okay. You deserve it.
You
Ashley,
do. Yes.
I know we said we'd do your segment a little later, but I'd like to do it now. Are you ready? Or do you need some more time? If you need more time, I got some other stuff I can show.
Well, they're just
yeah.
not right now. They're just not crypto related. They're all very not crypto related.
That's fine.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Someone said after each of your shows, I replay it again. What does that mean?
After each of your shows, I replay it again.
Mm-hmm.
Robin, take this
one. Whose shows?
I think mine. So like reviews, I guess. I don't know.
So someone's a big fan, and so they're rewatching because you're on the show?
I think so.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay. This one is a confession for Robin. I also prefer dark meat.
In that context, the way you said it, if you remove Thanksgiving dinner from the table, it's also.
It's actually pretty funny.
Are you a white meat or dark meat kind of girl there?
I'm just gonna ignore you right now.
Okay, for sure. On the turkey. Turkey.
I don't like turkey.
You don't like turkey?
No.
It's like
It's always
very
dry. It's
fast
always
time.
nasty. It's just
No bueno.
Turkey. How about turkey sandwich? Deli sliced turkey?
no,
Mm.
No turkey at all.
no.
Pigeon?
What?
Oh.
This one is a confession for the fellas. For my birthday 2 years ago, my wife let me have a four-way with her and her other two friends. Total sinner.
Whoa.
Ha.
Hold up.
Whoa.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Four-way? They just passed. They just went.
Wait.
They skipped past three.
Homie
They
can
were
handle
ready.
3 at the same time?
Hey,
Damn.
hey, we went from dark meat to a 4 ways.
Yeah, what is going on
What's
here?
going
Are
on
you sure
all
it's
time
like
high?
a 4-way call, like a phone call, or
Like a Zoom meeting? No.
A trip
okay?
on the
Start
ball.
from the top because I was a little preoccupied. Okay, what?
For my birthday 2 years ago. Not my birthday.
Okay. I was gonna say.
For my birthday 2 years ago, my wife let me have a four-way with her and two other girls. Total sinner. Haha.
Damn.
No.
Would you leave your wife if she came to you with that?
Leave her?
If she came, you said, "Hey, oh, some guys don't like that shit. They see this cheating." I don't know. What would
She
you do?
let him do it.
I know, but I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but why would you leave her? I would be like, all right, we're gonna have to one up next year and bring in 6. Let's go. Come on. Bring in the corral. I'll be like Santa Claus over here with, Dasher and Honor and
honor.
The hell is
Dasher, Blitzen.
Okay, we don't.
But instead it would be
okay,
like-
Okay.
It'd be like Candace, Nicole,
Manisha.
Hey.
Manisha.
Oh, this one is for you guys. I sold a Bitcoin today to lock in profits. Did I sell too soon? Please be gentle.
Yes.
You think yes? Look,
Be
I will
gentle.
never. No. Hold on. I will never make fun of someone for taking profits ever.
No, I agree.
If you needed the money and you're happy with your gains, cool, man.
I'll just say this: if your question is about timing, it is not the best time to sell. I'll just leave it at that. Or that. Now you'll never know where the top is on a market cycle, and so I would say, could you have gotten a better exit position? Could you have taken profit at a higher price? Probably, more than likely, and I would probably lean about 90% on that one. But Yeah, I mean, it's all about timing.
Like I
It
said,
might not be the best timing, but I agree with you.
if you didn't need to take profits, I would say maybe instead of selling the whole thing, maybe sell 10, 20% of it. Then again, I don't know your scenario, but I'll never clown someone for taking profits.
Also, I'm letting you guys know that I am going to Disneyland instead of the crypto thingy because
Wait, what? You're not going to be here next week?
no, because Jimmy wants to marry me and I'm scared.
Okay, fine. Are we invited?
Yeah, let's all go to Disney.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, to the wedding.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I didn't even know I was getting married.
you just said we're getting married.
He said we're getting married, so I'm running and going to Disney.
Oh, you're running away from him.
I'm
Oh,
scared.
you guys are getting married at Disneyland with Mickey Mouse.
Hell no.
That would be a good business. You know, we have like Elvis here. Just, anyways, we'll talk about this later. I have to share this, guys. Was that it, Ashley?
That's all.
Perfect. Guys, for next week, we'll do this again. Send your crypto confessions. Ashley's going to put it in the email in the chat. It'll be 100% anonymous. It's something that lets us engage with you. It'll be fun. And yeah, so shout out to all of you that send it. Thank you very much. Now, Robin, 9 German government's decision. Remember, Robin, do you remember the day where that's Germany, they come here? Yeah, they sell their Bitcoin. They sold 50,000 Bitcoin at 54K. That, Robin, if they were holding it right now, $2.8 billion in profit. And they missed it because they decided to sell. Robin, would you like to have a moment of silence for the government of Germany, or any words of wisdom you'd like to provide to maybe that one politician who should have voted no but voted yes, and he's watching our show and saying, please help me, I don't know what to do?
I don't think it was a politician so much.
Obviously, it's
I don't think
semantics
it was up.
here, dude.
Basically, what I was saying is I don't think it was up for a vote. I think it was
Yeah,
the
no.
centralized powers that be.
I
So,
know,
they didn't believe in it, man.
you're a very interesting guy.
I'm just saying, dude, that there's gonna be moments that all of us kind of kick ourselves in the butt for not pulling the trigger on Bitcoin, right? First time you heard about Bitcoin, you probably dismissed it, just like I did. And then you realize that the price of Bitcoin at the time was, $700 or $800 or whatever it is. And later on, you come around to it and you got a fun story. Hey, man, you know what? I was going to buy it. I didn't, or I bought it and then I sold it right away. Germany now has the same damn story. Like, hey, I had a few thousand Bitcoin, or was it 100,000 Bitcoin, something along those lines.
Something like that.
And then, well, we sold it at 50K, and well, lo and behold, it's at 1.5 million. So that's going to make for an interesting story that the Germans can tell their kids.
Yeah, that's good. All right, it's time. We have a very special guest joining us today. First time on the show. It is the Chief Growth Officer over at Morph. His name is Colin. Colin, how are you? Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too. I'm David. This is Robin. Jummy spoke to earlier backstage is Rocco, the lovely lady we have in studio here. Sharing everyone's confessions in crypto is Ashley. Colin, we're excited to have you. Can you give us just a quick background of your kind of journey in crypto and how you landed at Morph?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a bit of an old timer in the crypto space. It's funny that we talk about the old stories of discovering Bitcoin and not getting it soon enough. I got in about 12 years ago. I was kind of an early member of the San Francisco Bitcoin community. Really like frontier days where sort of it was far-flung political ideologies and sort of emergent kind of fringe libertarian stuff. It was a lot of fun. And so, yeah, I was involved in crypto in the early days in SF and wanted to get into it full time as part of the industry. And so flew to Asia, where I started my career in my full-time career in crypto there. And so was in Southeast Asia working for an on-off ramp there, and then for Binance, and then for this Web3 gaming company. And so really got sort of involved in the early stage adoption, sort of on the ground adoption for crypto and Web3. And then joined Morphlayer a little bit earlier this year as the Chief Growth Officer. And so Morph is a layer 2 blockchain. I know there's a lot of layer 2s, but I think we are focused on-chain consumer finance. So for people kind of in emerging countries and for sort of a digitally native workforce, we think, there's the promise has always been kind of internet native commerce, and we feel that that moment's kind of finally here, and we think we can bring on sort of mass adoption.
That's awesome. Colin, I guess the question is, we always talk about, at least on our show, like retail is broke. The consumers are broke. A lot of the money pouring in is institutions. So why focus on consumers? Or was it at the point where we all realized, hey, consumers are kind of broke? Was it too late, or was it like very specific and methodical in why you guys went with the consumer side versus maybe the institutional side or the enterprise side?
Yeah, I think that I think that there's a lot of very credible people attacking the sort of enterprise side. My own background is more frontier markets, so Southeast Asia, kind of places for emergent growth where there are people kind of interacting natively on the internet as their first economy, right? Like they might be based in the Philippines or what have you, but they're more involved in economically on the internet than they are in like their national economy, right? And so to me, this is where consumers live, right? It's like it's people who interact with the internet as their first economy, and not necessarily large institutions that I think institutional coverage has been pretty good this year, but for us it's a matter of finding people who are very close, kind of they're already in this digital class, and we want to build tools that bring them on chain, right? And so that's kind of the pocket of users we've identified.
Awesome. Now what exactly is MorphPay? Like, give me a scenario of what it looks like.
Yeah. So we, one walkthrough here would be, there's this audience of degen users, right? There's like people who kind of have high status on the internet, right? So it's like they might be super wealthy in DeFi protocols, or they might be freelancers or what have you, but like their financial services in the traditional sense don't really match their status on the internet, right? And so for MorphPay, we want to create a suite of payment products, right? I think stablecoins are having a big moment. Fiat on-off ramps. One first initiative we have here is a premium card product. We basically want to create this comprehensive payment platform where your status online can finally sort of be properly ported to your status, in the traditional economy, right? And so, for MorphPay, I think we launched a set of card products, so Morph Black and Morph Platinum, where we're really trying to create more of a premium credit card experience that is not really captured in the existing crypto debit card space, right? So this might be someone who's already made quite a lot of money online, but when in an emerging country, when they have that status mapped to a bank account, for instance, that might not be comprehensible to their sort of national fiat system, right? And so we're trying to create that sort of premium category.
So you're kind of going after the people that are debanked, that maybe don't have, because when you're talking about this, Colin, like the thing I think of, and I've used before, is like the Coinbase card, right? Where it's linked to whatever you have in your Coinbase account, but then again, you got to have a bank account to link it, and then on and off ramp. Are you saying that Morph will allow people to just skip that entire step and just use the card freely without having to go through, like I just mentioned with Coinbase?
I mean, we'd like to, the experience we're trying to create is ultimately, we want to connect from DeFi straight to kind of the payment rail, right? And so can we connect your maybe really high yield DeFi vault, right? And I think at the premium, we want to create, we're trying to create a premium DeFi vault that has high yields. We want to connect that all the way to you swiping in a store, and especially when you're traveling, right? I think, there are kind of online degens who maybe have, convenient payments in their own country, but then they have a card that doesn't conveniently travel when they travel, right? Yeah. And so, deep crypto integration all the way to kind of experience in the store. Like that's the vision for us.
Awesome. And I'll tell you what, Colin, from a personal standpoint, man, anytime me and my family travel, I always get nervous because I don't want to be caught out of state, out of country with a debit card or a credit card and it gets declined. And so I bring a debit card, I bring 2 credit cards, I go buy a gift card, I bring cash, I bring my Coinbase card. And so it's nice to know that, there's people building products that allow you to really freely spend anywhere you go really in the world. And that's settled fairly quickly. Let's talk a little bit about the ecosystem of Morph. Can you share some of the live and upcoming dApps maybe that people can already explore or that you're excited about introducing?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we talked a little bit about Morph Pay. That's one of our major initiatives. So that's both some in-house initiative, in-house sort of development, as well as a pretty concerted ecosystem effort to build out payment rails. Partner with sort of leading stablecoin providers, these sorts of things. Another project we have that I'll tease a little bit is we have kind of a degen stablecoin coming. It's vaguely in the algo stablecoin space, but it's going to be a bit of a high yield product that I think the market's going to really like. Beyond that, we've sort of started to create an ecosystem of casual games that is getting a lot of adoption. We have a partner, Popcraft, that's brought a ton of on-chain transactions for us. That's kind of bringing activity on chain. And yeah, I think for us the narrative, I think last year we had a broad mandate for consumer crypto, and I think this year specifically we're honing in on that on-chain consumer finance sort of target or vision, right? And so yeah, that's kind of what the team's been up to.
Awesome. Colin, when I interview founders or people from companies, I always like to put myself in the shoes of the person on the other end of the screen watching. And when you mentioned algorithmic stablecoins, high yield, my mind went to Luna, UST. And so for the people that are sitting there and have PTSD from losing money in UST and seeing the whole thing unravel, and really ever since UST went down, algorithmic stablecoins haven't really been brought up. I mean, Cardano did one with Jed, seems to be working fine, doesn't really have mass adoption like Luna did. So to the people that are sitting there saying, high yield algorithmic, I don't know about that. What makes that different from what we saw just 3 years ago?
I think I'm supposed to tell you steady lads here, but no. But no, this one will be, collateralized. We have a new take on it, and that's going to be coming in the next month or so. But yeah, certainly I think we don't want to repeat the mistakes of the past. I think one of the advantages of being an old timer in the space is having the long memory, which is also maybe a disadvantage sometimes. Is short memory can be good and bad, but yeah, I'm very weary of the blowups of the past, and so we definitely want to prevent those in a big way. We're very cognizant of those. But yeah, I think that shouldn't stop experimentation on chain, though. And so I think we still want to be a place for some of that experimentation.
Amen to that. And to the projects that came before, and whether it's algorithmic stablecoins or L1s, L2s, whatever, if those mistakes were made and people, then you can't really build on the product and make it better. And so I'm actually excited to see what that product looks like. Now, speaking of, tokens, stablecoins, is there any token plans? Do you have one out there? Is there anything in play? Is there a TGE coming up that you want to kind of tell us about?
Yeah. Standard sort of when TGE, right? I think, look, we do have a point farming system, which I think will map very closely to any incentives we want for the ecosystem. I think we do plan to at some point launch a token. I think for us, we don't think about it on a day-to-day basis. I think we are really trying to prove traction. We're trying to build products. We're trying to get the community to sort of adopt what we're building. And to us, obviously we want to reward the people who've been paying close attention to Morph, that have been bridging over, that have been kind of participating in our different initiatives like that. We're balancing that with building something for the long term, right? And so I think there's a market timing piece of this, and there's a sort of continued build and adoption piece of this. And so we do want to reward holders. That is something that's going to come at some point soon. But I don't have any specific details to announce just yet.
You do, just don't want to share them, Colin. Let's get it right. Just kidding.
Yeah.
All right, Colin.
I'll make sure to come back and announce when it's time. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Yeah. We'd really love that. Colin, I'll give you the floor. Anything else you want to kind of add to wrap this thing up? And then also, please let the people who are watching know if they want more info, where they can find it.
Yeah, thanks so much for that. I think just check us out. We're at Morphlayer on Twitter, on X, the artist formerly known as Twitter. we have a bunch of campaigns going on right now. We have both kind of fun community campaigns where you can win some prize money. We've got this great sort of DeFi campaign for people that bridge liquidity over. There's a point system with us and our partner Mitosis. So we've got a bunch of stuff coming on chain. We hope that you kind of buy into this vision of on-chain consumer finance, because I do think it's something that the ecosystem's ready for. Yeah. So check us out. We're at Morphlayer on X, and thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, and we just put the link to the X handle there in the chat. We know that, and Colin, before I let you go, we know like the direction consumer finance is going, and it's definitely going towards on-chain. And I think soon you're going to see banks operate in stable coins where you can buy, send, yada, yada. But I think a lot of people have lost faith in the banks. And so all it's going to take is one app, one team that nails it and gets that mass adoption and really changes the consumer finance landscape. Colin, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us. And please, if you guys ever have any other big announcements, we'd love for you to come on our show and share with our community again.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, guys.
Time, brother. Take care. All right. Ashley, you have any names to butcher?
Mm-mm.
Okay, great. All right.
That's what I just did.
I don't even
God,
want to
what?
know.
I ordered a pizza.
Oh, big National Pizza
Yeah,
Day.
yeah, I got some Papa John's on the way.
Papa
Should be
John's?
here in about 10
Ooh.
minutes. I don't know if it'll be here by the end.
Did you get a ham and pineapple for Rocco?
I just got pepperoni, man.
What the hell?
Kept it simple, man. Pepperoni. Everybody likes pepperoni.
Throw some mushrooms on there.
I didn't know I was getting fed today.
You're not. You got to pay for it.
Oh,
The dollar is less.
okay.
We did.
Yeah.
We did have a couple super chats. Ripster said, check Nitro, the new fair launch Frong and ETH. And then Ashley, $5 super chat. You could have literally just handed us the $5 because now we got to pay 30% to YouTube. But thank you anyway. She said,
I don't
I'm
have
sad.
cash on me.
Send in your confessions, please. You could have Zelled it to us. It's fine. Yeah, send your confessions to Ashley for next week. Rob,
Yes.
we talked about BTC. Now let's talk about ALTs.
ALTs.
Altcoins.
Oh, wow.
Welcome.
Glad you abbreviated that abbreviation. Okay.
Yes, I am the king of vernacular.
Beautiful. WorldCoin, also
Oh.
labeled WLD, is up 35%, up 7.
Sorry to cut your legs out, but this is the news right here, my friend.
Thanks, bro.
Let's cut your legs out, man.
THX, bro.
Okay. Anyways, let's stop that right away. Thank you. But yeah, I'll throw it back to Rob in a second. But Sam Altman teams with Apple icon Johnny Ive as the start of an AI coin super cycle. And you know, people like to front run news and narratives. And so WorldCoin's been pumping. Sorry, Rob.
Cool. Yeah. It's been pumping to the tune of 35% on the 24 hours, up 30% on the week. Biggest gainer today. Also, Hyperliquid in profit as well, up 23%.
That thing has crushed it, bro.
Yeah, you take a look at Hyperliquid on a project that hasn't been around for very long. This is textbook.
And a
what
project,
you want
Robin,
to see.
And a project that was farmed and airdropped, usually it's those sell off immediately. And
From
Hyperliquid-
November 29th, my birthday, till today, $6 to $33 in only 6 months. What a beautiful airdrop chart here. This is an exception because, as you mentioned, this is something you typically do not see out of fresh launches, especially airdrops them to add to that. What do you think about if we're going to talk about airdrops, what do you think about Midnight? What do you think that's going to look like?
Midnight's going to be huge. I think it's going to be the biggest airdrop ever. I think if all goes to plan and what Charles and the team are saying they're going to do.
Yeah.
So, and they said ADA holders, I think, pretty sure ADA holders are going to get the largest chunk of that Midnight airdrop. But Midnight's going to bring in RWA and privacy. So if it gets adoption, we got to get a stable coin in ADA, bro. USDT, USDC. I know they're working on RLUSD, but until RLUSD is on the same par with Circle and Tether, which I'm not saying they're not going to get there, they will. But it's going to take some time. It just launched 2 months ago. Cardano just needs a stable coin. Don't you agree?
I mean, how could you make any argument
Against it?
to the contrary?
Yeah.
It's right. It's has to get a stable coin. if it like, here's the thing: who doesn't need a stablecoin? Bitcoin. They don't need one, right? Because you don't have smart contracts. you're not doing anything other than moving value. Cardano's backbone, the whole premise is smart contracts. It's governments and voting and interoperability and the decentralization and staking. There's so much behind all of it, but it needs to be powered by stable coins, right? You need to get in and out of the ecosystem with stable coins. There are stable coins there. We're not saying that stable coins don't exist, but let's be real. You need the big boys in there. You need something. You need USDT or you need USDC. You need one of the two, preferably both, but let's get one going, please.
I got you, bro.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think it's coming. I would find it hard to believe to be sitting here having this same conversation 2 years from now. So I hold faith that one of the top 2 stable coins will be present on Cardano chain. But I mean, even Charles Hoskinson has talked about it being a priority, and so I think it'll happen. And when that happens, I think that gives it a lot of room for it to have upward price action as well. You know, Cardano has been kind of hanging around this sub $1 range. I think if we see a stable coin like USDT or USDC, I think you get this big rally. Maybe we see that too, $3, $4 Cardano that we've been kind of talking about. Yeah, maybe that's the catalyst. What do you think?
Yeah, I can see that. I know the big issue prior was, well, the money, and Charles said, look, we had an opportunity to get this thing done for $3 million, and pretty much said they dropped the ball. And so I hope if that opportunity presents itself again, now that the governance is fully in play and that those treasury funds are in the hands of the D-reps and essentially the community, they can pass they can put in a proposal, get that money, and get a stable coin in there, man. Get USDC, USDT. I don't think it matters. Just get one of the big 2. Add JED, add RLUSD, and now we're cooking in DeFi. What you looking at over there? Bitcoin?
Yeah.
What's the price at?
Right about the same spot where you started the show at.
That's up.
At new all-time highs at $106 or $111,700. It's a nice, sexy round number.
Sorry, I'm trading futures over here. Those of you that want to take this futures trading journey with me, there's a link for Top One Futures. It's a prop trading firm. You can get instant funded. And just made $120. That's P&L on the day. Rocco, if you want to pull this up, daily P&L is $300. That's where we're at. And so this is a 5K challenge I'm doing. Taking a $150K SIM funded account, turning it into $5,000 of real profit. And if you use our code OLA, all caps, you'll save 40%.
Hola!
And if you're good, maybe you've had a dream of being a day trader. If you're good, they will take your account live and you'll do live trading. And so take the journey with me. Click that link, sign up for an account. Yeah, we're excited. Rob, I think that's it, man.
Pizza is almost here.
Wow. Also, no trading show today. I will more than likely move it to tomorrow at 12:30 Pacific. There's a few things we got to get done here in the studio as we are getting ready for the Bitcoin conference. So with that being said, that's all I got. Rocco, anything?
No, all good.
Good.
Yeah. A lot
Robin?
of pizza, hopefully
Ashley?
good pizza.
Yeah,
I don't really care for Papa John's, to be honest with you.
Yeah, why'd you get Papa John's?
because that's where the guy sold
That's
the Bitcoin.
where the first Bitcoin transaction was a guy bought Papa John's pizza. So
Yeah.
not my first choice, but I'm just trying to keep it historical here.
Or as my friend Jose says, papayons. Anyways, Rocco.
Papajones.
Papajones.
Papajones. Okay.
Thank you all so much for tuning in. We appreciate every single one of you. Happy all-time high. We have all of us here at SINCITY Crypto. We love you guys. Until tomorrow.
Ciao a tutti.
SINCITY, crypto, everybody know what we here for. Entertainment and info, gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in, for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David, I split the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy a dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger